Good morning, what's up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech Peaches back with another video. And as you guys voted, you wanted to see next after the acrylic French tips, you wanted to see French tips on toes. Okay, so we're getting into the acrylic toes. It is 8:16 in the morning, and of course I'm doing this before I go ahead into work. Okay, these came out wonderful. Like, listen, every time I do French on toes, I just have to stand back and be like, damn, like, bitch, you bodied it. Like, it's come on. Okay, so let's get into it. First things first, Papa Big, you are the subscriber for today. Y'all make sure you are subscribed, turn them notifications on because you don't want to miss any videos. You guys, listen, I'm trying to be on it. Okay, so first things first, you guys know I use a sanitizing spray, which is really just an alcohol-based spray on the foot. When someone's not getting pedicures, people ask me all the time, like, oh, what if they're not getting a pedicure? They don't have to. If they're not getting pedicures, then I'm just not maintaining their feet. I'm strictly just putting the toenails on. But most girls that come in, they either maintain their feet at home or they get pedicured regularly, even if it's not by me. It's very few instances where someone's feet is just straight up dirty. And to be honest, everybody's feet stink, like, and during this process, simply because, like, the smell of filing toenails is just not a pleasant one. Even if someone did have a pedicure, it honestly doesn't matter. So yeah, just throwing that out there. Okay, so of course we're gonna go ahead and prep after we filed off that polish. I could have did polish remover, but it's just I don't like standing around waiting for it, so I just do like a general file with the nail file. And so then I'll go ahead and remove the rest with my actual e-file. So you guys already know how this goes. We are prepping the nail beds. If you don't do this, your toenails are going to pop the hell off, and I mean with a quickness. Okay, I'm using a medium sanding band. If you guys have noticed, my sanding bands have looked different recently. It's because I ran out of my zebra ones, and rather than like going to, you guys don't know where the South area is if you're not in Sacramento, but rather than going out that way to go ahead and get some more, because there's only one store in the whole entirety of my city that carries the ones that I like, I realized that the e-file that I had bought, it actually came with some sanding bands, and I realized they are medium grit, so I just go ahead and use those for now until I decide to just make my way over to the store. Okay, then of course we are priming. I don't dehydrate because it's pointless since we just removed all the shine from the nail. 2 coats of Young Nails Protein Bond because I'm a Young Nails girl, and that's what the fuck they said to do. Okay, so you can see this client. She's actually a regular of mine. I haven't seen her in a while, but you know, she had some surgeries and things. She's been working a lot, and so she decided she wanted to book for acrylic toes. This is her first time with acrylic toes, but not her first time with me. You see what I'm saying? So we are using princess slippers. If you are a person who has been on my Instagram page, you guys know I do clear pink Frenches all the time. This particular client has a great base to work with. Her toenails are of a decent size, like her actual physical nail beds, and we don't have to extend too much, which I wouldn't have anyways because she actually is a caregiver, so she's on her feet a lot. She takes care of people, and yeah, so that's first things first. Secondly, okay, so really quick, what you guys are seeing me do here, there's gonna be a point in time where you're seeing me like removing product, and that's because I don't know if anyone else notices this, but acrylic will get rid of any excess like polish. So basically you're gonna see me, I'm laying it down, but any areas where there's like white polish, I'm gonna take the acrylic off of there, like kind of scooch it to the side like how I'm doing here, and it's gonna remove any extra polish. I don't know if anyone else has had that experience of knowing that, but yeah, that's just, I wouldn't recommend like doing that instead of taking the polish off, but it's just if there's little tiny bits and pieces left, because like it would show through this, you know, so I have to kind of do that, but that's neither here nor there. But yes, anyone who knows me knows I've been trying to put people on the clear pink French tips for so long, and the crazy part is nobody listened to me until people start seeing it on Instagram as a trend, and then people are like, oh, I seen it on your page, which I'm so glad that people are referencing my page. But I have been like telling people for years, oh, clear pink background is the way to go, it looks so much better than the nude background. Nobody will want to listen to me. So that's, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. I've been kind of frustrated with that whole thing lately. I feel like trends are overtaking like me as a nail tech itself. Like there are some things that it's like, yo, I've been saying this shit for years, but it's like no one's listening to me because I'm not an Instagram trend and I'm not popular and I'm not trendy. So, you know, I just be trying to help the best way I can. I be doing a lot of I told you so, a lot of kikiing. I be doing a lot of laughing at people because they be like, girl, I should have listened to you. I be like, I know you should have, you would have been way popular way more sooner. Okay. So you guys already know we are making sure the big toe is the shape and size that we like it. Okay. Now with clear pink, you might have a hard time seeing it. And so you might want to go ahead and take your time and move a little bit slower. But like I said, this particular client, her feet, it's going to be a breeze. You can see I'm not really extending it too far past her actual toenail in itself. We're just doing enough so that way she gets that nice squared out shape and it's, you know, to the tip of her toe. And so that's going to be your responsibility as the nail tech to understand what is the most flattering on different nail types and things like that based on people's lifestyles as well. And then also because she's a first timer with acrylic toes, of course I wouldn't extend it nothing crazy because that wouldn't make sense because she's never had them before and it would be a shock. It's a shock to a lot of people realizing what it feels like with long toenails if you don't naturally have long toenails. Okay, so now that we pretty much have the big toe settled, I mean that one was pretty self-explanatory. There's no special tips or tricks because like I said, it's pretty much the same length as her real toenail. We're gonna go on to the little toes, which once again pretty much the same length as what she's got. I think people have a misconception that acrylic toes are just way longer than people's natural toenails, but most of the time it's actually not. It's just a slight extension. It's just because you actually have a squared out look, it's pretty much it's like filling in any gaps, any missing pieces of nail, and so it provides like a really perfect look. So if any of those toenails might have looked super short because they were chipped, they were uneven, etc., well now they're not, and so now they look automatically like they're a lot longer, but you guys can see they're not. You guys have seen me do acrylic toes a million times on this channel and you already know I'm not giving nobody nothing crazy. The only time where it can start to get crazy is if people are getting like fills and not realizing how much their real toenail has grown out. But even still, I always try and file it down pretty close to what it used to be. But you know, even with that, they're still going to be a little bit longer because like, girl, I don't have time to be here all day resetting you exactly back to where you automatically was. And girl, this your second doggone fill. Like, yeah, you need a new set. You need a reset for real, you know what I'm saying? So I do want to point out that the toe I just did and the toe I'm doing now, they actually slightly point in different directions. It's going to be hard for you guys to tell. And honestly, at first I wasn't even paying attention to it until I like go sit next to her basically and look from their direction. I always do that after shaping so that way I can make sure everything is a-okay. And I realized, I'm like, oh, your two toenails, they kind of point in opposite directions. If you're having a hard time with toenails facing different directions, please go ahead and see my last acrylic toes videos about crooked toes, okay, crooked toenails, because like I said in that video, this is not to change the direction of the growth. I got asked the other day, hey, can you, I have a crooked toenail, do you think you can just straighten it out? I'm like, unfortunately I can't do that. And even if I did, as it grows, it would grow, the tip would be like looking centered and straight, but your base is still gonna grow crooked. So no matter what, there ain't no way to correct that, you feel me? So yeah, you tackle things the best that you can. I get a lot of people that ask me a lot of different questions, and I want to tell y'all, you got to start using your head, okay? Because you cannot depend on YouTube for everything. You can ask me as many questions as you want, and I'm going to help you to the best of my ability, but I'm always going to end it off of, yes, you're going to have to make your own personal decision because I can't physically see what you're looking at. So you asking me questions about something I'm not even there for, I can, like, okay, people will be like, oh dang, I think I messed up on this, what do you think I should have done better? I'm like, well, I can't exactly tell you what you should have done better. I can give you my best educated guess on maybe what went wrong, but I wasn't there. So you're gonna have to think back to your own experience and like form your own important connections on how could this have done better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to help and guide you, but I don't have all the answers for you because I don't have your clients and I don't see what you're seeing. So just keep that in mind when you're watching my videos. I get so many literally like heartfelt comments from you guys that is like saying that I've been like educating you and you feel like I'm teaching you things that you didn't know before, and it makes me feel really good, especially about my career, because I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, lately I have been feeling, I don't want to say down in the dumps, but I have just been feeling like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And those comments really just kind of revived me. And listen, I'm ready to go. Okay. So as you guys can see, honestly, the application is really, really straightforward. There's nothing here that is out of the ordinary. Okay. Like I said, I have done acrylic toes a million times here, but I just wanted to see, show you guys like how seamless and effortless things can be once you do kind of get your skills up. Okay, because there are sometimes, you know, I don't really have it's a smooth and perfect like appointment, you know. So I think what I'm gonna do is, let's see, it's 10:27. I need to be leaving here at least 8:45 so I can get to work by 8:55 because I have a 9 a.m. That should give me enough time to hurry, like, you know, run in there and cut the lights on. So really quick, I'm gonna get dressed while I watch this because we need to make sure we're not late for nobody. And I'm not even gonna lie, I've been cutting it close trying to edit in the morning. I was supposed to start this process at 7 o'clock, but you know me, I had to get ready, I had to do X, Y, and Z. And so of course it was not 7 o'clock. I laid in bed till 7:30. So you guys are gonna hear some noise in the background because yes, I'm getting ready for work. Okay, I gotta throw my clothes on and all that bullshit. Woo, y'all, I just got my Brazilian and my underarms waxed yesterday, and when I tell you I feel like I'm a woman, I keep forgetting that I'm freshly done up. If there's one thing about me you need to know, I don't miss them appointments. Okay, I will wake up out of a coma to make sure I'm at my wax appointment. Okay, 4 weeks on the dot. Okay, because I don't play those games. All right, I'm a hairy girl. I don't play those games. So here we are filing, right? And the thing about it, just like I mentioned, this was pretty smooth. Like, there is no reason that it had to go this smooth except for the Lord himself. Okay, so you can see I purposely am doing minimal filing because when I did the application, they were already pretty squared out. So you can see I am putting a lot of pressure on the toe, like, okay, not pressure, but like I'm gripping the toe with my 2 fingers there because I want to make sure that I don't cut her and I'm able to maneuver how I need to maneuver, because you can see I'm getting pretty close to her skin. I am actually on her skin, but I'm pulling her skin back a little bit so I don't actually cut her. And then we're gonna move on. But you guys are gonna see when your application goes well, you don't have to file as much and you can speed through other portions, okay? Because, whew, I'm out of breath. Because the thing about doing French tips is, well, me personally, I don't have, like, okay, I have every acrylic toes appointment is gonna be an hour 15 roughly, okay? So in that hour 15, I get everything done, even designs, okay? Designs, payment, talking about what do they want. So acrylic toes is a very short appointment considering that we have quite a bit to do. All right, so you need to make sure that you're able to go fast enough that, you know, the first 2 toenails are dry enough for you to go ahead and play on and shape while the rest are drying. And that's the key. That's just for acrylic toes, period. But for French tips, you need to even further expedite the process because now we have an extra amount of time that we need to draw this design on and cure it. And you guys know the white polish I use takes 2 minutes. Okay, so that's 4 minutes of curing just French tips alone. So you guys can see I'm getting up in there. Okay, I'm making sure it's flush as hell. And look, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, Peaches, you done did it now. Like, girl, you is really doing it. Like, this is really, really looking good. You see what I'm saying? And so I was starting to get excited. Well, actually, me and her was talking. When I tell you it was tea to be had, it was tea. Because let me tell you something. It's no reason she told me she had got her hair silk pressed, okay? And she was telling me, she was like, she was at her hair appointment. She was like, girl, it was crazy. I was getting my hair silk pressed at this lady's house, and her client called her on the phone and was like, girl, it's an emergency. Can I please come by? And the lady was like, yeah, I guess. So then when the client had got there, why she say that the client had told her that she just found out she was pregnant by her best friend's baby daddy, because the three of them be doing threesomes, and she went to the hospital for stress or something, and her best friend and the best friend's boyfriend had took her, and when she went to the doctor, they ran a test. They was like, oh, you was pregnant. And so because the best friend's boyfriend was in there with her, because the best friend didn't want to leave the car, she told him, I'm pregnant and you're the baby daddy. So then her friend got mad and was like, why would you tell him before me? I guess she was like, well, he's the one that got out of the car. I would have told either of y'all, whoever was there. And so then the friend was mad because she's like, I'm pregnant too. Like, I guess she found out a week before that she was pregnant. And I'm like, you probably got pregnant from the same threesome. Okay? And I'm just like, wow, the tea. And when I tell y'all, listen. So we was chopping it the hell up. And as we was chopping it up, I'm like, girl, these toes is looking immaculate, okay? These toes is just looking like everything that it ever needed to look like. You see what I'm saying? So as we continued on, and I'm getting to realize, I'm like, this is a breeze. Like, everything is going great. Everything is looking good. I don't even have any extra tips or tricks or nothing to share with y'all. But I will say, keep yourself on, like, with time. Because, okay, for instance, we was kikiing and talking, but you wouldn't be able to tell the way my hands are still moving. You see what I'm saying? So you do have to, like, keep that in mind, that you can do all the talking and chatting that you want, but don't let it stop you from doing your job. All right? So sometimes I go ahead and I'll file all the cuticles because I'm already there. I pretty much, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to go by whatever makes the most sense. So I'm going to keep a solid like path of movement. So if I'm filing the second one and I notice the cuticles probably aren't that dry, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep filing the tips. And then if I'm filing the cuticles and I realize, you know what, that enough time has passed that this is gonna be dry, I will go ahead and carry on and do that with the cuticles. Okay, so you just want to keep your wheels in motion. You want to keep everything smooth. If you have noticed, the only time that I really stopped working is if I need to change over to between either my file or my e-file. So you really are gonna have to, like, keep yourself in check and keep the time you know, flying by, because like I said, acrylic toes should be a short service, and I do fills in about 45 minutes. So that's something that you definitely do want to keep in mind, is that this is not something that, I mean, granted, if you take 2 hours or more to do toes, hey, that's perfectly fine. Okay, what's going on with my butt? That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that in my experiences, it is nicer when things don't have to take that long, you know? So, child, we're gonna have to wear sandals today. I don't want to, but I ain't got no damn socks for real. So you can see I'm going back and forth and just making sure everything is smooth, everything is perfect, everything is going together. Okay? Because the last thing that you want is anything looking lopsided or anything like that. And to be honest, the pinky and that last toe, they're the last to dry. So it's like sometimes you do have to stall. Okay, and so that's me looking from the opposite way. I basically kind of, I be all in their face, y'all. I be sitting next to them on the couch. I be doing all types of stuff, sitting next to them. So this is gonna be like my last little check, my last little run through. And then you will see that I am basically going to spray down the toes. You guys already know. And look at how good they already look, right? Like, just with nothing. Like, they already look so good. And I'm looking under there because I thought I saw something stuck, but it wasn't. But you see how good that looks? Like, this is what you want for your base for acrylic toes. You want everything to look as pleasing to the eye as possible. What is this? A French fry? What the hell? Yeah, you just want everything to look as pleasing as possible. And then we are going to top coat, because you guys already know I do not like painting over, well, at least for nail art. I don't like doing nail art over freaking, what is that called? Over a non-top coated nail. Because to me, doing stuff, it just don't, I don't know. You can do a freaking whole toenail of polish, but something about like actually trying to make a design, it's like it sinks into all the cracks of the acrylic, and it's just not as crisp, it's not as clean. And if you have to clean anything up with acetone, it basically more melds it into the acrylic. I know that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but yeah, it just makes it so that way it just makes it so I don't even know how to explain it. Like, the polish is just not crisp and clean. So here we are, ready. You guys know this is gel elixir polish in like color white. I think it's called like Snow White or something. My favorite white polish in my entire life. Even though I have to cure it for 2 minutes, I don't even cure. I don't even cure at all. So you guys have seen me do an in-depth video. I've showed this like a few times on my channel. For French tips, this is the easiest and best way that I have found for toes. I paint the white. Now, I don't do more than this, because once I do my arch, it's like the middle, most of the middle is going to be cleaned up away. So then I will go ahead and get my brush, and I need a new brush, but this one's a Madam Glam one, and I will go ahead and whoop, bam. And I can't tell you the exact trick or technique to this. I just know it works for me. You kind of just have to have a good brush, and you have to have your skill up. Even though this brush is raggedy, you can see my brush is always raggedy, but you just kind of have to know how you like your stuff to look, and you have to just know how to work that brush. That is the only thing, the only advice I can give to you. There is no more further breakdown than practice. But the first time I ever did this, I was like, damn, I've been missing out. Why have I been trying to draw French tips? It just don't work for me on the toes. Like, at the angle that this is, I just don't care for it. It just don't work for me. So basically, that's pretty much that. And then I will go ahead, once I have the initial layer, I will go and basically go sit on their lap almost, because I be all in their business. Okay, booty be tooted up in the air, trying to make sure these French tips are looking right. But in a second, I have it fast forwarded because yeah, nobody want to see all that. But you're gonna see me like correct anything. See, it's fast forwarded. You're gonna see me correct anything, fix anything that I feel like needs to be fixed, and go into any little areas that might be missing polish. Sometimes I'll go in and, you know, I have to get rid of a little bit more product to fix the angle. You just basically, with your French tip, you want all the angles to pretty much be the same, and you want everything to just look perfect. Like, that's the goal of a French tip. And I'm noticing how much more French tips are trending than white toes, which is pretty interesting because, like I said, Instagram is really what people go after. It's like, okay, not to be rude or to be shady, but I'm noticing that people don't actually kind of like think no more. All they want to do is see what's the most popular thing, and then they'll bring it to you and be like, oh, I want this because I want something no one else has. But I'm like, but you do realize this picture itself have like 10,000 saves. So how, like, this is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think clients sometimes realize that. So it's pretty interesting to see stuff like what's actually trending on and off of Instagram, because girls really think like, oh, this is, I think they think like, oh, I haven't seen this before and it's popular. Ooh, LOL, cute. I'm gonna be the first one to do it. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. I think clients should reword that into, wow, I really like what I see. I want to give it a try. Haven't seen anyone in my circle do it before. That's probably what they should say, you know. So after curing for 2 minutes, I did go ahead and apply another layer of top coat. And then you guys don't see me do this too often, but a lot of time I don't polish the tips of fingernails or toenails, because honestly, if it chips or anything, you can see, and you can see the line of demarcation from like the front of the toenail to the tip. Like, it just doesn't look good to me. So I will go underneath and thin out, because, you know, her toenails are slightly extended, so it's not going to do anything to her real toenail. But I do kind of thin out a little bit with the, I guess you can call it a C curve, right, the underneath, so that way it looks as good as possible. And then I'm just spraying to get rid of any dust, and then I am going to hit her with some oil. And everybody loves the way my oil smells. Everyone always asks, like, you gonna put that good smelling on? Actually, they don't even have to ask. One person asked me that, and I'm like, girl, who the hell do you think I am? Of course I'm gonna put it on there. You feel me? And we have come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you some. I know I didn't have that many tips this time, but this appointment was just so doggone smooth. I couldn't help it. But you guys already know, as usual, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.